¿Qué pasa, mi raza? You're now tuned in to I Don't Know It's Perfect. This is Mario from the South Side. This is the most professional podcast out of Austin, Texas. We're here again with another special episode for y'all. As usual, we have been trying the hardest to kind of keep giving y'all the best content that we can out of the city. I know we are I myself am a very huge procrastinator. I'm terrible at kind of providing everything that we do because we stock up on so much content and then slowly put it out little by little. But that's kind of the story of my life. But today we have another special guest for y'all. So we have somebody who is kind of I like to see as a community leader in the sense of making sure that everybody stays healthy, takes care of themselves, and just in so many aspects. I have Sara, the nerdy nutritionist.
Hey, hello everyone.
How are you
Good to be
today?
here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, thank you for putting up with my terrible scheduling.
Hey,
Oh,
no
man, scheduling for me has now become such a hard aspect of life that I'm still learning how to adjust to.
Yeah, same with everyone.
Work, personal life, and then the podcast. It just
Yes,
gets
sir.
hard to keep up with everything, and then sometimes it just gets difficult. So I appreciate you being
Of course,
patient with us
no
and
worries.
doing this with us. So, how's your day been?
Day's been good. Just went to work, home, do some shit. Now I'm here. I'm super
Yeah.
fucking excited.
I know it's a good way to kick off the weekend. I'd say so.
Hey, yes.
Yeah, because man, trust me, it's been a long week for a lot of us. So I'm ready to just not work and not have to worry with any of that stuff and just enjoy the weekend. And it sucks because a lot of times people say that we're not supposed to be looking forward to the weekend. We're kind of supposed to be enjoying every day, but that gets hard. And in the capitalistic America,
Yeah, with real life reality
Yeah.
shit, it's kind of
when
difficult.
you have to bust ass to make a living, it gets a little difficult to kind of live that sort of lifestyle. But for those that are tuned in and watching, go ahead and give a little introduction as to who you are and what it is that you do.
Hey, okay, so yes, I go by Nerdy Neighborhood Nutritionist. My name is Sara Navarro. I graduated from UT Austin with a Bachelor's of Science and Arts degree in nutrition, have a minor in rhetoric. I have a huge passion for nutrition, is giving back to my community. And yeah, actually currently in grad school, so I am pursuing a master's degree. And once I attain the Master's of Science in Nutrition and Dietetics, I can then sit for the RD exam, pass that, and become a registered dietitian in the state of Texas.
Oh wow, that's a
Yeah.
lot. That's
Yeah.
a lot.
Doing a lot right now.
That's awesome. So I guess let's take it back because I feel like at this point anybody that's familiar with you or knows who you are kind of already knows the background they kind of took. Because from my understanding, you originally were going to school to become a pharmacist, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So what was that journey like that caused that transition to go from that point to where you're at now?
Yeah, definitely. That's a interesting one. So I originally wanted to go to UT Austin for pharmacy, wanted to become a pharmacist for various reasons. And just going through the undergrad experience, I was realizing that pharmacy wasn't for me. And that was a huge realization, huge impact for me because I thought pharmacy was everything. Worked at Walgreens, Southfirst, and Stasny for like 2 years as a tech. And that's when, it was not becoming any fun for me to go to work, realizing it's truly all about profit.
Reality hit.
Big pharma, all of that. And it wasn't suiting me at all. But from there, it was kind of also impacted with transitioning majors. I switched majors like 4 times to land in nutrition. And then, yes, once I was taking those courses, that's when it literally, everything made sense.
The realization hit.
Yes, from pharmacy to food pharmacy.
I get it, and I feel like I could relate to it for a bit because I feel like I guess now at this point not a lot of people know this, but like in my early 20s, I worked in pharmacy for 7 years. I was a pharmacy tech as well over at the SoCo HEB right
Yes.
there in Old Turf. So I was there for those 7 years, and so I've seen all that side of it. I've been on that side of the table where it's like you have to tell somebody that their medicine's like crazy expensive and you can't really. That's with insurance, so it's like it's a shitty situation to be in to have to tell somebody that.
And it's like their insulin medication, their diabetes.
that they need, it's kind of something that kind of just kind of I cannot think of the word.
Desensitized?
There you go. I cannot.
I got you.
It kind of does that, and it just kind of because I for at some point I have a lot of friends that are pharmacists and whatnot, but at some point I also wanted to like go and try and be a pharmacist. I was like, okay, this is not bad. It seems like a legit career, but then just working there too. It kind of just takes it all away. Just it just takes your will from it. And
Yeah. I lost my passion for it real quick.
yeah,
Unfortunately,
yeah.
but
For me, it was a one day. I had one bad day. I was like, no, I'm not doing
hell.
this. Yeah, so I get it. So it's it totally makes sense because it's like being from one side of the spectrum to the other. Like you go from being on this other side where it's like it's medicine and it's caring for people, but it's more so on the money side. But now the side you're on is more so of a nutritional side where it's more healthier, more organic, and it's more so for like showing people how to care for themselves in a manner that like we're supposed to 'cause
Yeah, most definitely.
people forget how before civilization happened we were just cavemen. Like they got by with just eating the basics and what they need, but now everything's so
Processed.
yeah. And it definitely takes a huge toll on so many aspects that people don't realize. So, where are you at now? And I know you said that you're still in school and continuing that education. Where are you currently at on that career path?
Yeah, so with being in grad school, I'm going to gauge it with respect to, God's plan. 2 years, within 2 years, so I guess by the time I'm 30, I can have already attained the master's degree and then just sit for the exam to then become a registered dietitian.
Has there ever been any like moments in your life in the past where you kind of look back on it and was like, okay, maybe at this point that kind of was like a telltale sign or like a foreshadow that you were going to end up on this path?
That is extremely, incredibly funny that you say that. So yes, a hard yes.
Yeah.
Maybe my fucking sophomore or junior year in college and undergrad, I unfortunately got really sick. And a lot of things were the cause of that, but it was really and truly my health and that I wasn't taking care of myself. So that was the biggest realization. Like, I cannot help others until I help myself. And I was just neglecting myself. I was, in a really bad state. So I finally got the help that I needed, the resources that I needed, the medications that I needed. And I've, kind of recovered, but it's still like a chronic, ongoing thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is when I realized health is wealth.
Yeah.
And that is when I started taking care of myself, doing more mental health checks, self-care days, going to see therapists. Everything kind of just changed for me within those couple of years that I was sick. And then flash forward to 2019, I graduated from UT Austin. And that's when I didn't have the stress factors of being in school and studied and having exams every other week. I was in kind of like the adult world, in the workforce, doing what I'm doing. And that was kind of also transition period as far as like my health. So I knew how to then balance my time management, knowing how to listen to more of my hunger cues. That was kind of another thing that helped me as far as like staying and maintaining
Learn how
health.
to read your body and stuff like that.
Yes. So I'm just a huge advocate for health, nutrition, and physical activity.
Have you ever had people that kind of like have tried to oppose that I guess the route you taking and just like nah, like or question it?
Not necessarily. I have a lot of people just asking me to like debunk their theories or asking me like if I'm a vegetarian and how like the plant-based diet works for me. One, I'm not a vegetarian. I love bacon. I'll slam on BLTs all fucking day long.
Misconception.
Chicken wings, burger. I mean, yes, I'm not the healthiest nutritionist. Let me tell you all that. But I do my best. But no, really, no one has kind of like come at me as far as like a person of opposition when it comes to nutrition, because I feel like in a sense it is common sense to most people. Like if you put good in your body, you're going to feel good. If you do physical activity, you're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy, more stamina. And then just continuing that pattern, you're going to overall feel healthy and eliminate some chronic diseases.
Yeah. What are some of the, I guess, the common I guess what's common points of advice that you've given out to people that it's kind of just like your go-to when people come to you and ask you like, hey, like, where do I begin or what should I do or what helps, because obviously there's a whole variety of options that people can do, but it's I feel like you would have to sit down and hope for hours to kind of break everything down as per person. But what are some of the general like top points that you would give out just for anybody that's listening or watching?
Yeah, yes, sir. So that's a good one. Mainly my main topics. Let's see. Hydration. Drink your water. Stay hydrated. I believe I'm just personal advocate for staying hydrated. Not only is it beneficial for like overall mood and energy level, but it regulates bowel movements, which I'm assuming for most people that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But no, just drinking water, that really goes a long way. You can eat your water and some of the fruits and vegetables that have a high water content. So that's also a way of getting water and staying hydrated. The second main point is, I guess in reference to your plate, if possible, trying to incorporate half of your plate with fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
That has kind of been the new, what is it? Motto may not be the word, but like, remember when you were in school, the food pyramid?
Oh yeah, you had the whole like
Yes, sir.
different sections of it.
Yes,
You had
yes,
to
and
eat-
that's kind of like what they wanted as recommendations for you to eat every day to maintain a healthy body. That has drastically changed since we were children.
Oh, yeah.
Drastically.
I agree.
Now the pyramid is a plate. It is called My Plate.
Oh wow.
And it's from the United States Food Administration. But essentially, your plate, they recommend per day, half of that plate be of fruits and vegetables.
Oh wow.
So for most adults, we want to see about like 2.5 cups of fruits and vegetables per day. And that's also depending on if you're trying to like gain weight, lose weight. But for the most part, you're going to want to eat fruits and vegetables daily.
Is milk good?
That's okay. That's probably one question that a lot of people have asked me. And it kind of goes both ways. But in my opinion, I do not believe cow-based milk is the way to go, especially for people who have already reached, pubescence.
Yeah.
I think once you are like prepubescent, you shouldn't really consume cow's milk. I do recommend plant-based milk.
Yeah, because I was like, I've had this interesting theory that we whipped up a while back, me and one of my friends, and the theory was that when we were kids and they had the food pyramid and all that, the mass media was so heavy on pushing milk. Like you saw everywhere,
got
like the
milk?
whole got milk. Yeah, like it was. You think about it and you go back and like every single part of like commercial show or whatever
Incorporated celebrities, Michael Jordan.
milk,
Yeah.
and then looking to where we're at now, and like everybody is lactose intolerant. Everybody drinks the almond milk, and I was like, there was something going on where they were pushing milk very heavy back then.
Well, I mean, there is health benefits to it, but for the most part, you can incorporate like the calcium, vitamin D, in other plant processed foods, plant-based foods. Yeah. And when it comes to these plant-based milks, I don't really like to pitch almond milk so much. I know that has been marketed really, really well. Almond milk, I believe most people drink almond milk.
It's like the hipster milk.
Kinda. I don't really recommend it, and this is because I have spoken with a registered dietitian who works for the city government, and her research from what she has shown that statistically, the big manufacturers who produce the almond milk only put 2 almonds in the
Oh
cartons.
wow,
The rest is processed additives and sugars and stuff like
it's
that.
all fake.
So I kind of just steer clear from almond milk. Me personally, I enjoy oat milk. That's
Okay.
really good, and it does last a pretty long time too, which is cool. But whole milk, when it comes to the cow milk, whole milk, I do recommend it for children ages 1 and age 2,
Okay.
only because of the fat content. So with the whole milk, obviously it has a lot of fat content. For that age group, the fat content is really beneficial for overall height and weight and brain development.
Oh, okay.
But once they, turn 2, that's when you can kind of give them alternative milks. But yeah, once they kind of reach that prepubescent mark in their life, that's when I would really recommend like plant-based milks at that point.
Okay. Oh, interesting. I feel like I'm gonna have to reach out for a lot of references as far as like how to build my own diet, because I am terrible at trying to just like I've had my moments where like I'll meal prep and like I'll try to eat good and I'll make chicken and whatnot, because like my go-to whenever I'm trying to eat good and just work out, my diet is eggs, chicken, and rice, and that's it.
You don't
Other-
like do other things. You kind of keep it to that.
Yeah, just because it's the
Gotcha.
easiest to do.
Yeah,
You throw the
understood.
rice in the rice cooker,
Yep.
make some easy chicken, and then eggs is like the easiest thing you can cook. What are some like, I guess, easy meal prep plans that you like that you would suggest?
Ooh, meal prepping.
Or I guess your personal favorite, because I would imagine you get down in the kitchen, huh?
I do. I like to cook. It's not actually my favorite, just because when I get home from work, that's an 8.5
You don't wanna
eight and a
cook
half
and
hour
clean.
shit. I don't really want to cook because then I have to clean and I have to wash
Yeah.
dishes and shit. Nah.
yeah.
But I try my best to do good. Meal prepping, that's an interesting one because I haven't mastered that.
Yeah.
I'm not really good at it just because
I don't
again,
trust anybody who's mastered it. I don't.
if I could shout out Celis Bites. He
Okay.
is a gentleman that I went to high school with. He was on the football team at Crockett, and I was a water girl. I knew him really well. He does meal prepping services, and he's really good. He's really prominent. I believe he does some of the artists in Austin, meal
Oh,
preps
okay.
for them. So he's actually good. He's qualified.
wow.
I really like him.
Yeah.
But me personally, when I meal prep, I like spaghetti and meatballs. I
Yeah.
can kind of heat that up. I do sandwiches, turkey sandwiches, peanut butter sandwiches. I don't like jelly. I'll just do the peanut butter.
Oh, wow.
Not a big fan of jelly. Other than that, chicken, quinoa, rice, broccoli. I really enjoy broccoli. I try to put as many greens as possible. The other colors I try to get from like the fruits, but other than that, like bell peppers. So it's just kind of a combination. Anything like I have in the refrigerator or something like I have an idea for that I want to try, I'll incorporate that. But my meal prepping nowadays, just because I'm trying to get a hold of the school and the work, but it's just peanut butter sandwiches.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that because I actually this week literally just I've had peanut butter in my kitchen for the longest, and I've been telling myself I need to go get some jelly. I need to go get some jelly, and I finally went and got some this week when we were in grocery shopping, and I've been eating PB and J's
Oh my
all
gosh.
week. I'll make some sandwiches, like some turkey sandwiches and
Yeah.
whatnot, but like
It's that
I feel like
PB&J.
PB&J is just like it's one of those things where you have to always have, like no matter what. It's a key point.
It hits the spot.
Yeah, it's what is it called? It's one of those it makes you feel at home type
Yeah.
of foods, you know. So do you often get a lot of people that kind of like come to you, try to get you to consult with them as far as like, you know, diets and like
Oh, yeah.
how to like, because I know you work out a lot yourself, right?
Yes and no. I
Same-
kind
same
of been
as everybody.
slacking since May, but I'm gonna get into it.
Yeah.
Back into
So
it, I promise.
you get a lot of people that come to you for advice and reach out for help, and how does that usually work out?
Yeah, so with the consultations that I've been doing recently, they've contacted me through at Nerd of Nutrition on the socials, but I pretty much kind of ask them like the logistical questions and then wanting to know their goals. So what are they wanting to learn from me and how can I best help them? And if there are questions that like I feel like I'm underqualified for, I will refer them to registered dietitians or kind of figure out like affordability situation and like their insurance and kind of guide them down that road. But as far as like me, I can do personalized dietary intake reports. So again, that's the logistical information, wanting to know their goals, their current weight, what they are wanting to achieve and when they want to achieve it. And then ask them about their physical activity level, what they're willing to accomplish in the gym, whatnot. That's pretty much what I can do, what I'm qualified to do. I'm qualified to work with all genders, ethnicities, races, the like. And aside from the dietary intake report, I can provide nutritional education, obviously, nutrition resources, and fun and healthy meal recipes and physical activity, kind of like workout regimens.
Okay. What is just real quick before we carry on? Where can everybody find all this information, and what is the best way to reach to you?
Yes, sir. So like I said, at Nerd of Nutrition, pretty much that will be for Instagram. But on Facebook, you can find me, Sara Patricia Navarro, the nerdy neighborhood
Sweet.
nutritionist.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Y'all go and reach out, and you're trying to figure out how to get into that healthy lifestyle, which I've been trying to do for the last 5 years. Reach out to her because she can help you and take care of you. And just for someone who you're from the South Side, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with that being said, what are some of your like favorite go-to places as far as like when you're trying to feel nutrition and or healthy,
Oh,
and when you're not trying to be healthy?
because I was about to say Sandy's.
Sandy, it's an Austin staple for sure, but I don't know if be the best on the food pyramid.
Yeah, that's a lot of grease,
Yeah.
but it's so good. I mean, healthy wise, I don't really go to many fast food restaurants nowadays. I like to do at home cooking. Places where I don't want to be healthy, Dan's Hamburgers. I can get down on Pluckers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan.
They're okay. So the only reason why I like them is, if I'm not mistaken, they started operations in 1995, and I'm a 95 baby.
Okay.
That and their Texas Exes. They graduated from
They
UT.
are right. They were college students when it happened, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Every now and then I do get down with some pluckers, but I don't know. There's a lot of different places where I
Oh
like
yeah,
to go.
most definitely.
Yeah.
That potluck that just opened up right across from Crockett.
Oh yeah.
That one's popping.
Those places. Yeah. Those
kind of
wings are good.
expensive, but they're popping.
The owner, he's really cool too.
Yeah.
And anytime you go out there, he's just like, I feel like you don't even have to look at the menu or even ask for the menu. Like,
He'll just do it for you.
yeah,
He'll know what you want.
Yeah, he always gets it right every single time. So Yeah, shout out potluck. So, but there's definitely a lot of places that,
Casa Garcia's, I mean, that's a staple.
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of good places. But now that I'm trying to think about it, I was like, I don't know a lot of healthy places on the south side. Like that's probably on my fault, I mean, you have Juice Land and stuff like that. I don't know. How do you feel about Juice Land?
I enjoy smoothies.
Yeah.
I really enjoy smoothies. Juice Land is good. I like to make my own smoothies,
Yeah.
but Juice Land is good. A Smoothie King is kind of okay. I wouldn't put it as next to Juice Land.
I feel like that's more so on the sugary end versus Juice
Yeah,
Land. Juice
definitely.
Land has like all this other weird stuff into it. So whenever I don't know what it means, I assume it's healthy.
Yeah.
You
I tried like a little salad bowl from there, and that's when like I tried tofu, and I was like,
I forget they have like some
the little
foods.
little whatever side bowls,
refrigerated.
IKEA bowls.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I've always had, like I said, I've always had trouble trying to figure out like when I try to plan for like a healthy diet. That's I feel like I can like work out for days. I can like get in a regime to like just get fit, and just anytime I work out, I get big. But my only issue is that I've always had trouble with eating clean. I just I feel like I have no self control when it comes to food. It's just I can do it for a short period, and then it just kind of like falls off the road. And I'm like, you know what? I deserve this, and then
I
jump
did.
into it.
What the?
So it's I don't know. The concept of being healthy, it's a great concept, and like you were mentioning earlier, like I feel like it does affect every part of like how you feel and how your brain reacts. So a lot of times I do feel it. So I completely get that. Have you ever had it like anybody who's like kind of proven that, or you've seen that firsthand?
What do you mean?
Whenever somebody's obviously not taking care of themselves and just
yeah.
of digesting all this bad stuff, and it shows in the way that they act. Their
Yeah.
mental.
I mean, not just from clients, but like from personal experience. Yeah. If I've just had a lot to eat that's processed food, and I just go continuously with not eating healthy, I feel lethargic, so fatigued.
Yeah.
I have no energy whatsoever, so it just doesn't feel
Just
good.
makes you feel gross.
And I feel like I have to detox and just like start eating clean immediately.
How do you feel about like, because I guess how do you feel about drinking when it comes to hand in hand with nutrition? Obviously, it's not the healthiest thing at all.
Like alcohol?
Yeah.
I mean, I drink alcohol. I cannot drink like I used to, let me tell you that. But I mean, if you just do it in moderation, I don't see any real negativity. I mean, if you're over consuming alcohol, of course you're going to make bad health choices, amongst other things. So it's just doing it in moderation, being conscious of what you're putting in your body in all aspects. But I think there's like health benefits. I'm sure there's health benefits of red wine consumption.
Oh, yeah.
They do it a lot in like European countries.
Yeah.
Wine with dinner. So, I mean, there's antioxidants in wine, so there's health benefits.
Whenever I had first started like working out like crazy and stuff like that, like I was like trying to, when you try to just do all the research and trying to figure out, I do this, do that, blah, blah, whatever. And I was like trying to do my research, like alcohol, how does it work when you're working out? Like, and obviously a lot of the reports were like, drinking will kind of take away whatever you build up whenever you're working out, especially if you're drinking beer and stuff like that.
The beer, yeah.
So I had to like reword my search. Like, what is the best way to drink whenever you're working out? And so what I learned, and I guess what I kind of stuck to since then, was the best way to kind of like, and I don't know if you can confirm this or deny it, but I'm not a nutritionist at all, but this is just my personal experience, was to just drink straight liquor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
mean, like as your pre-workout?
no,
No.
not to like just as part of your like your dietary. Like,
Gotcha.
And so now it's ever since then, like I was like, okay, so like obviously I'm gonna cut out beer because beer has like a lot of carbs and just a lot of bad like wheat and stuff like that.
Well, maybe like vodka, because you can do like potato-based vodka, corn-based vodka. So, I mean, there you go.
I drink tequila and soda.
Oh, tequila.
Yeah.
Well, then the agave, I mean, you can think of it many different ways.
That I was like, straight tequila and then tequila and soda, because soda is like the healthiest mixer, I guess, that you could
Soda's
have.
not healthy.
Like not the actual soda.
Oh, like the club soda?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Because it's sparkling water essentially, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
I mean,
that's my nutritional tip for y'all out there.
tune in next time.
Oh man, but what else do you have going on outside of? Because I know you have a very busy life with work, school, and just everything you have going on. Is there any other stuff that you yourself like to kind of get into? Because everybody deserves that sort of like the mental break. You know, you get so busy with everything,
yes,
you get
sir.
caught up, and you know, it gets carried away sometimes. You kind of forget to like separate yourself from that routine, and you know, that can be your whole life and everything. So, is there any other stuff that the nerdy nutritionist likes to kind of dabble in?
Yeah. So in my previous life, it was MMA and motocross. Now I
Oh.
just kind of watch them on TV or
Yeah.
go to, events occasionally. But nowadays, since I'm like kind of older, not as spry as I once was, it is now like reading books. I really enjoy reading, just like sitting down and reading, researching stuff, whether it be nutrition material or just like world news in general, keep up with politics and whatnot. I love watching horror movies. I am a
Oh.
horror fanatic.
What's your most recent favorite horror film that you've watched? Because I feel like there hasn't really been a good horror film out in like ever.
Have you seen Talk to Me,
I have not.
the new one that just came out?
Is it one of the
It's where it features like a
yeah
woman.
A24 film?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
I recommend you watch that.
Is it? Because I know there was one that they were saying that they were making that was going to be like the scariest movie in like of all time or whatever.
It was not scary per se. It gave you a lot to think
It's a
about as far
thriller?
as yes, a thriller as far as like afterlife spirituality, like how far you
okay.
are willing to believe and how far are you willing to protect others.
Oh, like how? Yeah, okay.
So I enjoyed that movie a lot. I'm actually gonna add it to my leg. I have a horror tattoo leg that I'm working on.
Oh wow.
Started I think a couple years ago.
What do you have so far?
Most of my leg, for like at least the front part, is mostly there. But it's just a whole list that I have of my favorite horror movies, and I'm just gonna incorporate them on my leg.
Wow, that's cool. What's your favorite all-time horror film then?
That's too hard to answer.
Too many.
Too many. Yeah, I don't even think
Yeah.
I could answer that.
When did you first get caught and like realize that you love horror films, or like what was it that did it for you?
I don't know, just the macabre and the. I was supposed to be
Goriness.
born on Halloween, so
Oh,
I guess
really?
like I just have a natural gravitation
Yeah.
towards the spooky
It was
shit.
meant to be.
Oh, I came out 2 days early, so I didn't wait that long.
Does that make you? Are you a Scorpio?
Yes, sir.
Oh, same here.
Oh, there we go. So you understand.
Yeah. We're Scorpio season's coming soon, so
Hell yeah.
yeah, this is my favorite time of the year. Yeah. So I mean, what else? I mean, you say were you training in UFC? Did you participate in any?
Unorthodox to say the least. It was my dad. So my dad he's a survivalist. He used to be a boxer. He used to race motocross. He used to be in the rodeo, a bull rider. So he did all a bunch of things. So I'm the only child.
Okay.
And so he calls me his favorite son. My mom really wanted a girl, and I ended up, my dad's favorite tomboy, always in the dirt, always outside.
Yeah.
Hardly ever watched like TV when I was a kid. I was always outdoors. And he was the one that got me into four-wheeling, and then I just kind of got bored and wanted to try two wheels, so there became motocross. And in the motocross world that I was in, it was just obviously all men.
Yeah.
So a lot of them were in MMA, and my dad had the brilliant idea of, well, you're going to learn to fight. You're going to learn, defend yourself. So your way of survival is kind of just getting beat up, getting roughed, and then you're just going to figure it out. So there I went.
Oh wow.
Always in the dirt.
How was that experience like?
It taught me a lot. I mean, it's made me who I am today. So I
Yeah.
am very blessed, very humble, very
That's
tough.
awesome. Yeah. Hey, it's I keep telling my daughter, I was like, I'm gonna put you in some mixed martial art classes one of these days,
Yes,
just to
sir.
kind of get you, just to defend yourself, just to always be ready, because you never know.
Well, unfortunately, yes, that's kind of the climate that we're in. But not only that, but I feel like it is a good way to just kind of express yourself and possibly just kind of get some rage and some anger out that you may
Yeah.
have. And especially as an adolescent, as a teenager, I mean, hormones are raging, testosterone, estrogen. So I feel like it'd be a good way to just, express yourself.
Yeah, she's a preteen, so she definitely needs that.
Well, yeah, that's beautiful. If that's something that she is interested in, definitely let her try. Because that's another thing. Like, it doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah. No, she's right now she's into volleyball.
Oh, okay,
But I
badass.
took her. We went rock climbing for the first time last week.
Oh, okay.
That was really fun.
Yeah?
I've always wanted to go, but we went to that gym right there on Congress, the Crooks gym.
I passed by.
It's really cool. It's a really cool experience. I didn't realize it was like such a huge community
Oh.
as far as rock climbing, but it's I will say I was extremely sore for the next few days.
I bet.
My forearms, my palms, every part of me was just killing me. So I don't know. I'm staying active has always been like a huge part, I guess, for me. I didn't really get a chance to do that when I was a kid. I was always off getting in trouble, but once I like got introduced into like the gym and stuff like that, I was like, I try to get as active, and I feel like that's something that we constantly forget to do because nowadays everything's just the phone,
Yeah,
computers.
you're on the go in just regular everyday life. And that's a really great point that you brought up because that's one thing that I like to tell my clients and encourage them. Like, you can start off 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day, every other day. You can do yoga and stretch, like just stretching your body and releasing that tension, unclenching your jaw, releasing your shoulders, from your ears. It goes a long way. And from there, you kind of build that confidence. Like, okay, let me try 45 minutes. Let me try an hour. Fuck, let me try the
It
Stairmaster.
snowballs.
Yes. And it begins to make you feel good. And you may not see the progress like right away, but within, 5-6 weeks, you're going to feel distinguishedly better.
Yeah,
And that speaks volumes.
for sure. Yeah, and yeah, like it's a huge point that I feel like everybody should like take time with, especially now we're in like in a period in this world where like a lot of people work from home and they're like attached. They're like they don't leave their house, for long periods of time.
I can't do that. I refused, like during the pandemic and stuff, I refused to telework because I so much prefer the separation of boundaries, home and
Yeah.
work. To me, that makes all the sense. Like,
And
I
that makes it
can't.
easier because I feel
Yeah.
like when I was in school, like I could not study or I had to leave and go do it somewhere else, like to do my work because if I'm at home, I'm not gonna want to do anything. I'm just feeling like I'm home. I'm relaxing. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying
I'm in my
myself.
PJs.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna want to do anything. But I go to like a coffee bar or something like that,
yeah.
and like I get in the headspace. And it's the same way with like. I guess like working out. I know a lot of people like to like work out at home. I cannot do that. Like I have like a gym back at home at the apartments, and I have to be around other people that are working out. Like I have to go into the gym.
Oh, interesting.
And I have to be in the environment where like I see everybody else because they kind of like it motivates me in a sense. It puts me in that mentality where I have to like be active. Like okay,
Yeah.
everybody else is doing it, I'm gonna do it too. So
I like both. The only reason why I'm more interested in home gym is because, like I said, I moved into a new place in May, so I'm still kind of getting situated inside the the duplex, excuse me. But the garage, I'm trying to turn that into a home gym.
oh, okay.
So that's what I would really like to do and start doing as soon as possible, so I can start working out. But it's getting there. But I do like the home gym aspect just because like you can feel the privacy in a sense, but you
Yeah.
don't have anyone else with you to hold you accountable. So I do get that. But yeah.
And it's a lot more accessible too. That's the only other.
Yeah.
I wish I could work out at home because if you could do it at home whenever you want, like what's holding you back at that point, So
I make
get it.
excuses all the time.
What's your favorite form of working out that whenever you get active in that sense?
So I do not like cardio.
No,
I
Yeah,
used
it's
to.
a hard one. It's a hard
Hell
one.
yeah. I used to run because when I was in high school, I was in softball. So we did a lot of running, did a lot of cardio. After that in college, I kind of just gave up on that. So asked me to run now, and I probably can't do it. I do like the Stairmaster, so I will attempt that. But other than that, let's see. I mainly do like full circuit workouts. So I'm just encompassing everything in a 1 hour, 1.5 hour session for me. I do stretch after that, and then just kind of go with a protein-based food from there. Just
That's
eating.
awesome. I've always enjoyed like the concept of like, I love working out, but like I love whenever like I guess the possibilities, the amount of different styles that you get into because like for a long period I would do like my what is it called, my splits were like back day, chest day, but et cetera, and then I got bored, so then I switched it up, and then I do push, pull, legs, and then I switch it up. And there's so many different variables that you can take into consideration, and then switch it up, and just it gets so fun into a point where you get creative with it, and you just kind of play around with it, And
Yeah.
at that point, that's when you kind of fully know that you're divulging in it, but it definitely takes some time to get into it because I've always been a firm believer in like if I don't make it into like the next day, like I start slowly falling off, and it's after that it just kind of snowballs backwards into like not working out,
No.
So yeah, it's just I don't know. There's so much that like I wish I was in top shape for health, but not all there.
Well, no, and it mainly, unfortunately, with United States and how it runs things. I mean, we are almost programmed for convenience and accessibility, and that's fast food. That's
Yeah.
processed food, and so there's not many farmers markets nowadays. There's not many farms that are exchanging foods. There's not many communities that do sustainable farming within those communities and then spreading food that way. So it's really unfortunate how we have come to this point. So it's the reason why I feel like my passion and my purpose is so important is to just advocate for nutrition and just having people in the community understand like this is really important for you, this is important for your children and the generations to follow. So
Yeah.
I just want everyone to be healthy.
Right? It's the best way to
Happy
do
and
it.
healthy.
And like, it's crazy because you say that, but like, you go to other countries and like I'll constantly hear that like people will go to other like places and like eat their food and like try their stuff, and then the transition from going there and coming back, and then they immediately get sick because it's
Oh.
just like this process as it is here versus the whole world. It's
Yeah.
it's our body adapts to it and then just kind of crashes when it's like, oh, that's what we're supposed to be eating.
And that's interesting because I haven't really traveled the world much. That's something that is on like my bucket list, something that I want to achieve after all of this school bullshit. But to try other cuisines, like
Yeah.
experience other cultures and, the magnitude of what they do, what they eat, and how they eat. Because most of the other countries around the world, they actually take the time to eat.
Yeah.
We don't have,
We're
they don't have
rushed.
30-minute lunches, none of that bullshit. Like they actually take the time to eat, have a quality meal with their family member, their partner. And it's like, they're so much healthier. The food that they put in their body is healthier.
Even their unhealthy food is healthier than what we have.
Come on. Like it's crazy how America has just, prophesized on,
Every little aspect of our life.
yeah. And if the food that we eat is just unfortunately trash.
Yeah. They can make it taste so good, but it's so bad for you.
Well, then, a Happy Meal is so much cheaper than a salad bowl.
Yeah, that's a whole other part of it. The way they make it like inaccessible.
Yeah.
Really, it's like you have to be living a certain lifestyle to be able to afford that lifestyle. And
Yes, sir. That's a
it's
good
not
good
something-
point. One thing they teach us in school is the detriment of food deserts. So food deserts are essentially locations and communities where it takes like I think 10, 15 plus miles to get to a grocery store or a farmer's market. And unfortunately, most of these food deserts have fast food joints all up in there. Well, where are food deserts primarily? Low income areas.
Yeah. All they have is liquor stores.
Good.
Like for my job, I travel to a lot of like the higher ends of the parts of the town, and it's like complete opposite. Like you can't find a liquor store within miles, and then you can go down East Austin or South Austin. It's like liquor stores on every, and it's very accessible. It's like it's what they kind of like trick you or trap you into consuming. But yeah, that's a whole other rabbit hole I don't want to get into because it is just gonna bum me out. it's so
For a Friday night.
Yeah, I know, right? Like we're trying to be healthy right here, not get sad,
Not
so.
find the closest liquor store.
But thank you so much for coming out.
Hey.
It's been a pleasant conversation, and I appreciate you for everything.
Yes, sir. It's been an
and-
honor. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for thinking of me and this
Of course.
opportunity. I'm really blessed
Yeah,
to be
thank
here.
you for everything you do. I definitely will be consulting with you and asking for advice and help on every
Wonderful,
aspect.
wonderful.
And then when you're ready to work out, we'll go work out.
Hey,
But,
badass. I am, yeah.
as I mentioned off camera, I do like to end on a positive note. Would you like to kick it off? Or would you like me to kick it off?
I would like you to kick it off, please.
Okay, that's completely fine. Let me see. Let me think. What should it be then? What should be my positive note? Something healthy, I guess, right? Just yeah, so to stay within the means of the theme tonight. As far as health, I always try to advocate for mental health. I feel like that's a big thing that we
Yes,
like.
sir.
We do constantly talk about it, but we talk about it so much that I feel like we forget about it. It's kind of like a conundrum. But I say that to say that you could constantly be working out your routine, constantly be figuring out how to take care of yourself and keep doing it. But just be aware to be cautious and don't fall into the hamster wheel where you kind of just get caught in this loop where it's just going nonstop and nonstop, and you can keep thinking that you're just doing all these good things for yourself, but like, at what point are you just not on a robot mode? Because we fall
I
into
like
this
that,
mode
robot
where we're
mode.
just kind of like on autopilot and just you forget how to like. Because the whole point of taking care of yourself and taking that mental breath of fresh air is that you kind of step away from like the typical routine and trying something else. So don't forget to stop and take a moment at any point of the week and just try something new. Take a different route on the way home. Stop at a different store. Try a new beverage. It's just any little thing that can kind of domino effect into like kind of the sense of trying something new. It you never know the effect that it'll take into you. It's gonna wake you up into that breath of fresh air.
I love that. That was a good one.
Thank you.
Let's see. To piggyback off of that positive note, mental health matters. Men's mental health matters. That being said, just listening to your body, realizing when it is time to take a break, when it is time to hustle and grind, and loving yourself. There is no better person to love than yourself. That's something that I had to learn deeply. And it's not a beautiful process. It is not always bubble baths and massages and facial masks. It is, looking deep within, having self-reflection, and taking accountability for yourself, most definitely. So mental health matters, and just trust the struggle. Everything will be okay.
Yep.
The universe
I
got
love
you.
it. Yep. Everything happens for a reason, guys. I love it. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I appreciate you. Well, guys, it's been another amazing episode. I am Mario from the South Side, and I'm with
Nerdy, the neighborhood nutritionist, Sara Navarro.
this is I Don't Know That's Perfect, and we're out.